Hello everybody and welcome. I am the Beta Plan and this is Vampire Coteries of New York, a visual novel by Troll Distance. And well, I don't know why he's back because I thought we'd taken care of him. But apparently there's something on still stalking Sophie's apartment. He's not stupid, is he? I'm going to let that be for now because I really can't do his voice at the moment. A little rough on the voice if I do him. But yeah, Tam also said prospect ASAP Tam, so let's just go there. As you open the blinds, you're able to spot a small grayish bird flying off into the night. Looking down, you notice a small piece of paper on the window sill. I always want to say still for some reason, I don't know why. It's not a still. Prospect ASAP Tam. Third time's a charm, you think to yourself, as you once again cross a gate of Prospect Park and head for Tamika Haven. To your surprise, you find her out in the open, sitting on the lawn, surrounded by a host of woodland creatures, birds and squirrels mostly. I need to slow my roll. The critters each patiently await their turn, as she flicks seeds at them. It looks almost whimsical, in a twisted sort of way. Hell of a week, huh? How are you holding up? Well enough, all things considered. She scatters the remaining seeds onto the grass and hops to her feet. I've been doing some digging. The Inquisition had a safe house up in Manhattan. I think that's where they're keeping him. The scarred one, I mean. I want to pay them a visit. Kill that thing. As many of those SI bastards as I can take along the way. Is that really worth it? I know you want revenge for your sister, but at the very least it's a clear violation of the Masquerade. Yeah. And that's the least of our worries. Thrown in a legion of armed goons standing in our way and an all-powerful vampire as the cherry on top. But there's more to it than just revenge. I think it can help me find out who I really am. I know it sounds corny, but I can't really explain it better than that. Trust me, I'm not taking this lightly. It's just something I had to do. With, or without you. Just out of curiosity, does Royal know about this master plan of yours? He does now. He emerges from the shadows a mere few feet away from you. Son of a gun finally managed to sneak up on you. Tamika eyeballs him as he gets closer. You've seen that look before. She's clearly asserting her position. But this time it comes off as a formality rather than an actual challenge. How long have you been there, Raoul? Long enough. So I should make a different voice for him. I made him sound too much like the reporter, but I know I gave him a bit of a gravel, but long enough. I'm not buying that whole scarred one bull crap. But taking a bite out of the Inquisition Collective's ass is just too good to pass up. I want in. Well, call the scarred one, send out a tooth fairy. Just know that's very real. That's very dangerous. Fine. Consider me fairly warned. Now, can we move this along? I'm itching to kill me some SI fucks. Guess we can use all the help. Yeah. He deserves to be there. To see the scarred one with his own eyes. Plus, my brother can be a pain in the ass. But he's one hell of a fighter. Raoul nods, a smile creeping up from the corner of his mouth. It's barely visible, but you can tell it's pleased him to no end. She might as well have rubbed his tummy. Glad we're on the same page. It's settled then. Let's go. Fucking finally. And with that, you leave the relative safety of Prospect Park, steeling yourself for things to come. I'm glad I'm full on blood. As you get closer to your destination, you get the sneaking suspicion that Tamika's been pulling your leg. Following her lead, you take a turn from Broadway into Fort Triton Park. It doesn't seem to make sense, you think to yourself. There's only one spot here between... there's only one spot between here and the Hudson River. But it can't be, can it? Sure enough, as the stone facade of the cloisters come into view, Tamika motions at you to keep out of sight. How the hell is this well-known tourist trap a hideout for the Second Inquisition? The cloisters? Seriously? That's the Inquisition safe house? Talk about hiding in plain sight, eh? This place used to be a lot of things. Now, it serves as a staging ground for the Inquisition. If my souls are to be trusted, and they usually are, they brought him here for their cold processing. Doubt they'll keep him here for long, though. If you want to get to him, he's now or never. Once again, for everybody that comes from that region, I apologize for the accent, but this is as close as I get, and it's a woman voice already, so I'm doubly screwed. As if on cue, a group of armed guards walks out of the museum, pushing a gurney with a large steel container on top of it. As they wheel it out into the open, a truck approaches. The operatives start preparing to load the crate onto the vehicle. You scan the area, trying to take a head count. Tamika beats you to it. I count at least 7. Probably more inside. We should do this quietly. And take him out one by one. Raoul frowns. I say we go in guns blazing, figurative speaking. There's more inside than there come. The more the merrier. Mika's right. We should get in quietly. Take them out one by one. Tamika nods in silence. Fine. Then let's do this already. For you to bore me to the final death. You split up, aiming to cover as much ground as possible. Sticking to the shadows, you advance, keeping track of one of another's progress. You hardly even notice as Tamika takes out the first guard. Not a peep out of him. Trying to keep up, Raoul kills the one to your left. He's sloppy, takes his sweet ass time bleeding the guy out. With his dying breath, the man lets out a yelp, drawing the attention of one of his comrades. When the guard's fast approaching, you ponder your options. As the guard walks by, you leap out of the shadows and put him in a crushing headlock. Opting for a non-lethal approach, you quickly choke the guy out. Just as you're about to move on, Raoul jumps in and plunges his claw into the man's chest. He then turns towards you and mutters a silent reprimand. No witnesses. 3 down, 4 to go. Yeah, but you can choke someone to death, game. I just didn't want to put his fangs, because that would be evidence for people if I forget to do the kiss. It's just, my mind works on a different level. You keep a steady pace, moving across the courtyard, picking off the guards one by one. Tamika does her part. 3 to go. Raoul gets messy again, at least this time he's quiet. With only 2 of them left, you pick one for yourself and gesture at one of your fellow ferals to take care of the other. Tamika's quieter, but Raoul's is closer. Which one will you choose? You wave your hand at Tam, pointing at her final target. She nods and starts making her way towards him. Suddenly, by virtue of sheer luck, he turns around just as she is about to pounce. The scream is quickly muffled, but still loud enough for the very last guard to hear. As all 3 of you approach him, the dire reality of the situation hits him like a ton of bricks. Paralyzed with fear, he keeps shifting his aim from you to Tamika to Raoul. He's severely fucked and he knows it. And since you're standing close to him, you might as well do the honors. You walk over to the quivering mess that mere minutes ago fought himself the toughest of the tough. Before he can react, you slap the gun out of his hands, lean in and smile. Hi. Half a second later, your fangs are already halfway to his windpipe. The blood tastes sour, with a hint of cowardice and regret. Could have gone out with a bang, chose to go out with a gurgle. Oh well. With the SI operatives taken care of, you turn your attention to the container sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Using your combined strength, you make quick work of the steel door. As you walk in, the moonlight from behind you illuminates a twisted figure huddled on the floor. It's hard to believe that the thing lying before you, beaten and tortured, within an inch of his own life, is the same creature you fought back at the cemetery. What the fuck is that thing? It's what happens when you lose it. And you let the beast take over. His lips move silently as if searching for the right words. He looks to you, then turns to his sister as if waiting for a sign. For a moment, Tamika just stands there. She looks down at the scarred one. The once fearful boogeyman, whose very mentions could strike terror in the hearts of her tribe, now reduced to a whimpering pile of flesh. Finally, she turns to you with a look of childish innocence mixed with confusion. Then she looks back at the scarred one. You can tell she's lost. Damn! What the hell are you waiting for? Let's kill this thing and get out of here! This is your choice. I can't make it for you. She turns to you and with a look of pride mixed with desperation. I'm not asking you to. Do it, Tam. You know he deserves it. Hell, looks like you'll be doing him a favor. He made his choice a long time ago. But that choice doesn't need to be yours. Suddenly, the very air around you seems to thicken. You look over to Tamika. She's not quivering anymore. She walks up to the scarred one. The pitiful creature presses itself into a corner in a desperate and futile attempt to crawl away. Without a word, she grabs the creature by the ears, sinking her claws in the side of his head. She looks him dead in the eye. His voice cuts through the air like cold steel. Stay out of my territory. In one fluid motion, she rips the chain off the wall. The pitiful shadow that was once the scarred one scurries off into the night. Raoul seems flabbergasted. Damn, what the hell are you doing? Taking control. Standing outside the steel container, the three of you take a moment to gather your thoughts. You look at one another, at the blood staining your hands, clothes and faces. In the pale moonlight, it appears black and shiny, like a fresh ink stain on a fresh sheet of paper. Without another word, you head back towards the city lights. The journey back takes longer than it did in the other direction. With bits and pieces of the Second Inquisition still stuck to your clothes, you decide to play it safe by sticking to the back alleys and cutting through the darker corners of the city. Tamika stays several steps ahead, both you and Raoul are quite content to follow her lead. You can tell that these last few nights have taken a toll on her, but not necessarily in a bad way. She seems stronger somehow, confident, more in tune with herself. I think I should pronounce that. Soon the awkward silence proves unbearable enough that you are willing to risk making small talk with Raoul. You think she's gonna be alright? Yeah, I think so. She's just gotta to figure out some stuff out. Our lineage, we have a special relationship with the beast. We can't either let it control us or become attuned to it. It's a constant struggle, marked with difficult choices. I think Tam just made one of them. Pondering what you've just heard, the rest of the trip barely registers. To your surprise, you suddenly find yourselves back at the prospect. Tamika keeps walking. She strides through the park gate, like a queen of old, returning after victorious conquest. You want to call out to her, but Raoul stops you with a gesture. Not yet. Give her some time to process all this shit. She'll let you know when she's ready. And hey, you did alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still an asshole, but yeah, thanks or whatever. He smiles at you. Wonders never cease. See you around, I guess. And with that, he follows in his sister's footsteps. A weird smile creeps onto your face as you melt into the New York night. One night of rest, nothing special happens. Tamika is back immediately. It's been some time since what kindred historians with no doubt refer to as the Battle of Cloisters. Still no word from Tamika. Maybe it's time you drop by and see how she's doing. That seems a little quick one day after. I think this is the exact time that we can go to somebody else. We haven't seen Hope yet, so let's first do Hope, or haven't seen Hope yet again. When you get to the internet cafe, Hope is already waiting out front. The sight catches you off guard. A part of you suspected that she might be more of a shut-in, my haven is my castle type. At Schumacher 2002. Perfect timing. We need to go for a ride. Get in, get in, get in! She doesn't wait for your response and jumps behind the wheel of Lavender Vintage Roadster instead. What? Lavender colored car is going to be very noticeable. The engine starts roaring expectantly, causing everyone's head to turn. Yeah, that. Not wanting to attract needless attention, you quickly slip into the backseat of the car. The moment you shut the door behind you, the vehicle sets off, tires screeching. You could even hear that in the background. And why the back seat? Slip next to her. There are 2 front seats, man. Really? What's with this, with the backlight thing? What? Sit next to her. Okay, by the way, I'm not always going to do those ads, because that's going to be really freaking weird, and I won't be able to keep up with that. Sorry for not bringing you up to speed first, but hey, this is... And I see... Everyone's always in a rush, and this is even more true when you're kindred. Now, allow me to take care of some business, and I'll be right with you. Even as she's zooming through traffic, she's still on her phone, of course. Nice car. It's kind of full of girly images. How do you afford that? At vroom vroom beep beep. I do like hope in that sense. Thank you. The Vandal really brings out the character, doesn't it? About affording the things in the city, it's pretty hard. You gotta be at the top of your game at all times. Might as well explain my business plan to you while I'm at it. Discuss PTC? So, another extremely online Malkavian, based in New York, goes by the name of DevNull. DevNull! Told me to Google Ethereum a few years ago. DevNull is in the original Vampire the Masquerade game. What is it called? Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, I think it's called. That's how I got into Bitcoin. So DevNull's still alive. They got license to use his name. Interesting. And I found a new religion. 23-year-olds selling visions of governments replaced by benign code and decentralized consensus. Masses ruled by algorithms as just as the laws of physics. Idiot man-child investors trying to shape their realities through sheer fanatical zeal, and dedicated collectors of things as abstract as rare as SHA 256 decryptions. Her driving style is far more aggressive and dangerous than you're comfortable with. Is it just you, or does she peek into the rearview mirror more often than she looks straight ahead? A hyper-speculative environment where nothing has real value, only abstract beliefs matter, and your life savings can be ruined by a single bullshit tweet. How could I refuse the allure? I started buying low and selling high on a variety of shady 24/7 exchanges that allow me with 100 times leverage, as in they lent me 100 times the capital I could bet with. I got lucky at the beginning and kept the ball rolling, shorting and longing, possibly recklessly. I got to the point where I became too big to fail, and that's when I cashed out. The car comes to an abrupt halt. You bump up against the seat in front of you. Okay, this story will be continued later. We're here, right at our first stop. I'll need you to do me a favor. We are where exactly? Sorry. Young, hot, petite, ingenuine? So, not young, hot, and petite one. I'm meeting a guy here. Well, you are. But I'll lend you one of my handles to you for a minute. Young, hot, petite, and young, hot, petite, ingenuine. See that weird guy in a Yankees cap standing around the corner? Approach him. Tell him you're... Take the phone he gives you and bring it here. Get going, honey. It's illegal to park here. You jump out of the car and approach the man Hope has pointed out. Not a lot you can tell about him based on his appearance, aside from the fact he seems pretty shady. The guy assumed a comical threatening pose as you approach him. The hell you want, man? A young, hot, petite, and genuine. Oh! No fan, but I Can't expect the girl. Me, no, yeah. Not bad for assuming. Damn. He takes a phone out of his pocket and covertly passes it to you. Everything has been prepared and preloaded according to your instructions. Should take about 2 minutes to transfer the data. Now get out of here. The man walks away with an exaggerated hip-hop gait. You come back into her car. She immediately steps on the gas. You get the phone? You're in the best. Pass it to me, please. She connects the two smartphones using a cable and begins some sort of data transfer. Looks like an identical model. After a minute or so, the process is complete. Alright, goodbye, lovely. You've served me well. Hope opens the car window, grabs the old phone. You're not expert enough to recognize the exact model, but it definitely looks like it had $800 price slapped onto it, and tosses it out the window. Surprised, you look behind you and see a car in the opposite lane run over the abandoned device. Hope notices your quizzical look. Off the grid lifestyle. I've been needing a lot of burner phones lately. I'm not going to use some cheap piece of shit, so it's a pretty expensive necessity. Intersection red light. She takes advantage of the moment to shoot a driving selfie that strategically excludes her face and upload it to Instagram. You notice her handle there is at Versace Beauty? Now, I was telling you a story. Cashing out. Right. At some point towards the end of 2017, I became convinced I needed to cash out. There was no way the bubble was going to last forever. I always knew there would be no grapes of wrath for the cryptocurrency era. It would have to be a series of profound antisocial disconnected events. The whole crypto culture was a decentralized church of lone millennials who rejected all established modern values and kept atoning for the original sin of not buying Bitcoin back in 2013. Another abrupt last-second turn. You're pressed against the window. What the hell's with her driving style? Bet a life you never wanted to live. Bet a life you never wanted to live anyway and get a chance to win a priceless pile of nothing. Untether yourself from all worldly desires. Find joy in suicidal ideation? Something with an idea, I assume a suicidal idea, following a suicidal idea or something. To this day, money holds no real value for me. It's as abstract as a video game score, a bunch of numbers on the screen. This joyless world never changed me forever. I knew I had to escape. So I took my pile of fictional dollars to a new arena. Elite NIC social circles. Not because I want to scam them and make more, but because I want to finally have some goddamn fun. I mean, of course I had to scam them in the process, but it was only in service of becoming something more than a star. A constellation! Another abrupt stop, this time next to the entrance of a shifty-looking back alley. Alright friend, this time you're leaky gut syndrome. Whistleblower extraordinaire. Whenever press Neek fuck wants to leak, you've got it. Got it? Sorry for putting you out here in my place, but I only personally contact people as a last resort. Gets harder to protect my identity each time I show my face. And since you've got our man is waiting for you in the back alley. He's paying back a favor with a flash drive containing crucial information we need to stay safe in this city. Retrieve it, I will circle the area, make sure we aren't in danger right now. When you're done, get back here and I'll pick you up. Everything clear? Good. I can't help but speak rather fast when I am as Hope. Hope just feels like a character that would blurt out things. You exit the car and see a... Did just shadow pass here? Of a man walking. Did I just see that? You exit the car and see it drive away in a hurry, then head into the narrow passageway. Sure enough, there's a man there it is. There's a man waiting for you at the end of the back street, unshaven, wearing wrinkled clothes, with a nervous eye tick. He looks even dodgier than the last guy you met. When you approach, he gives you a mean look. You lost something? Leaky gut guy. I'm leaky gut syndrome. You've got a little something that might interest me. Of course. Straight to the point, aren't you? Alright then. Clumsily, he produces a USB stick from his front shirt pocket and holds it before your face. When you reach out to take it, he pulls his hand back and gives you a sly grin. Getting all the data was risky, you know. Miss Montgomery is an unusually secretive person. Digging up the dirt on her took more effort than expected. Effort that should be rewarded, I think. The more you ask around about her, the more you expected a letter saying, "Give up your inquiries, which are all completely useless." At your doorstep, perhaps attached to a severed cat head. Catch my drift? The secrecy surrounding her screams. Friends in high places, brave new world order, and a lot of shit, you know. Makes me think I deserve some hazard pay. I ran a background check on you. You're not just some random schmuck on the street. No way you didn't know what you were walking into when you took on this job. And if you really didn't, I doubt you're the kind of journalist who can get into worse shit. You're bluffing the hell out of him, unsure if it's going to work. It does. The man spits on the ground angrily and raises his hands in surrender. Oh, alright. Should have put you on the spot like that. My bad, okay? He extends the hand holding the flash drive to you again. You take it. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Not really sure what it's about, but one of my informants claims you might be interested in this. He reaches into his inner jacket pocket and presents you with something wholly unexpected. It's a bag of blood, labeled simply as HB, ARA negative. That is, your blood type is not just based on what a lot of people think, like A, B, or one thing. Perhaps I'm talking to people that actually probably know. I think they probably know. A positive, yeah, that's this HR negative. The HR is the more proper term to put it down. It's actually A HR positive and not A positive. But whatever. You take a closer look, but that doesn't answer any of your questions. Just appeared in your mind. You peek into the journalist's cold blue eyes and see them twitch uncontrollably. Don't ask me. They said you'll know what to do with it. Leaky gut. Come on, take it. Fine, I'll take it. You grab the bag. Anything else? Yeah, don't think so. Thanks for your cooperation. Another eye twitch and an awkward silence. You hide the blood bag under your clothes and leave the alley the way you came. Hope's car appears before the corner just as you walk out into the street. It doesn't even fully stop when you approach, but slows down just enough to so that you can jump in. What the Your driving style. The moment you close the door, she leans into the gas pedal with full strength, causing the engine to roar. Her driving style definitely doesn't reflect how laid back she seems as a person. We got it? You throw the flash drive onto the seat next to her. Perfect. Any problems? How did the meeting go? You relate the entire back alley encounter to her. Towards the end of the story, you notice she's not staring at the road on her phone, but directly at your face. The realization startles you. Bloody Mary and Adderall. You've got that bag of blood with you? You place it on the seat next to her. She peeks at the label. She looks at it again. Then she steps on the brakes. Fuck! I'm okay. She grabs both the bag and the flash drive you obtained and throws them out the window. Looks like that's her favorite method of taking care of problems. That bag was a message. AB negative used to be my blood type. It's the rarest one, found in less than 1% of the United States population. Glad you didn't drink it. Who knows what they've done to the bag? Some New York vets can tell you wild stories about using irradiated blood to locate and kill other kindred. Seriously? Glad I didn't drink from him. Better safe than sorry, yeah. Still, I wonder if what they would have done anything into this blood. That would be some kind of 5-dimensional chess move. But yeah, this contact is compromised and needs to be cut off. Goodbye, my journalist frenemy. And goodbye, dear Ed Leaky Gut Syndrome. You've both outlived your usefulness. After a brief period of hesitation, she deletes the whistleblower extraordinary account and sighs. Another one bites the dust. Bloody Mary and Adderall. I've got another story to finish. I was talking about Bitcoin and then where did I stop? Becoming a constellation. Oh, right. You know what the real face of the city... You know who saw the real face of the city? Anna Delvey. Ever heard of her? A Russian working class girl born as Anna Sorokin. She moved to New York in 2013 and convinced everyone that she was this insanely rich trust fund kid, a wealthy German Harris, But she's Russian, why would she use a German then? Manhattan elites totally fell for it and they bought it for years while she swindled them. She only got arrested in 2017 after having stolen almost $300,000. Sorokin created her Delphi persona out of thin air, convinced everyone that she was going to set up an art fund, and kept tasting all of the life's finest pleasures while being basically broke. She even made up fake family financial advisor, then killed him off when he became a liability. And apparently most of her rich victims never admitted to being scammed out of shame. By now you're sure the way she scrutinizes her surroundings, her reckless driving, she's trying to escape somebody. Now Delphi's locked up with murderers in Rikers, writing her memoirs, apparently picking a lot of fights. Bless her heart. She'll forever be an inspiration. But I have more advantages than she ever did. I have my own considerable funds and I can rely on many more made up people than just some old-fashioned financial advisor. A whole bunch of fake content creators and influencers that every rich dumbass wants to get in touch with and collaborate. Makes it super easy to earn more money than I invest. You've seen it firsthand, both as a deceiver and the deceived. It's a city of illusions. Make non-existent money, come up with a fictional status, play nonsensical Camarilla games. And one day you might just find yourself at the top. Alright, we're reaching our last stop. You look around, you've come up onto a parking garage. A Devil Woman Doctor. You're gonna take an elevator to the 7th floor. Give the masked man you meet in front of the door this memory card. It contains a art house movie I've made. By art house you mean vampire movie. Yes. A movie you've seen me rehearse in my haven. You didn't think I was doing it just for show, did you? Almost hoped. I found some filthy rich Manhattan pervs who pay a fortune for convincing vampire cam show. I don't need money, but their IT industry connections gave me an idea. When we give them this memory card, we'll gain access to tech that should allow us to take on my biggest enemy in the city. So your nickname this time is going to be a Crash. You are momentarily dazed and can't immediately understand what happened. The first thing you know for sure is, if you were still a normal human being, you'd be dead for sure. You replay the last few seconds in your head. The other car appeared out of nowhere and crashed into Hope's vehicle at the maximum speed it was able to achieve in this Another shadow! I'm seeing them everywhere. Hope's vehicle at the maximum speed it was able to achieve in this closed off space. The driver has already managed to kick open the mangled door next to him and stumble out of the seat. Now he wordlessly approaches the trunk and takes a large caliber silenced pistol out of it. He starts approaching the lavender wreck of Hope's car, obviously ready to finish the job he started. You have to be fast and violent. It's you or him now. Your instincts take over. The world stops moving just as you start running. He can see you, of course, but not as well-defined shape. It's a blur, and its speed is faster than his aim. It gets closer to him. He is scared. It's next to him. He's terrified. A series of That doesn't really sound like punches. Sorry for for a lot of the sound effects in this game. I love it, but this sound effect, me. A series of superhumanly swift punches rupture his body in all sorts of horrifying ways. His world briefly turns into an ocean of agony and then disappears forever. You stand about the gunsman's body, trying to calm yourself in your killer instincts. That's when you hear a voice. I would have drank from him, probably. That same Bhutan, ironically. It's not button, but whatever. Hope slithers out of her car and sees you standing over your assailant. Huh. You did, pretty good. She approaches the body of the driver you killed and kicks it so she can take a better look at it. Upon seeing the front of his corpse, she lets out an annoyed grunt. Knew it would be this asshole. He's been following us all day, and I know just who he belongs to. Even before she's done talking, she's already trying to reach someone through a video call. Eventually she succeeds. You see a nonchalant woman in a business casual on her smartphone screen. Kara Montgomery? How may I help you? Hey. A, I think this is a vampire due to the way her eyes glow. B, this is what the journalist was talking about. C, her outfit is really weird for a businesswoman. Kara! Hope! Didn't expect you to ever reach me through this channel. Have you thought things through? Wait, did something happen? Did something happen? You fucking ghoul just tried to kill me, you crazy bitch. That's what fucking happened. Calm yourself, for Christ's sakes. That is a baseless accusation. I know he's from Double Spiral. He's been working at your motherfucking company. Come on. You know I can't be held responsible for the independent action of my subordinates. Why don't we just meet up and talk it out? Hope disconnects the call and instantly blocks Kara from contacting her. You corporate shithead. You make me sick. Taiji turns her gaze to the dead ghoul. I wonder if that would have been your... not sire, but... how do you call it? Your benefactor if you were chosen the camera... not the camera villain, but a Ventru. That's a good way to reuse character models, I would reckon. I'll dispose of him. Help me put him in my car. 30 seconds later, his body is laying on the backseat of the lavender-colored wreck. I was just about to say, it's a wreck, right? Okay, good. You take a look at the scene of carnage in front of you. Every second we're here gets us closer to a serious masquerade violation. I'll have to exchange my Palme d'Or worthy masterpiece for the goods some other time. She gets behind the wheel and you follow her inside the car. It still drives? Meet me in my haven when I tell you it's safe. For now, I need to dump this asshole somewhere, get my car fixed, and plan our counterattack. You guide Hope to your own haven. She drops you off, and before she leaves, she makes what's about to come perfectly clear. If you want to survive in the city, Kara Montgomery needs to die. She disappears into traffic, and you disappear into your place. Well then. That was interesting. And with that crazy fight, I say I'm gonna end the episode here, and I say I thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.